Alrighty, good evening everybody, and welcome back to SimTraX Broadcasting. As we're getting off here to an interesting start. First time that SimTraX Broadcasting and the National Oval Race Association are going to try something new this year. Obviously, we are going to hang out with these guys during qualifying. Qualifying here for the Gatorade 125s that will be kicking off next week. That will determine inside and outside lines. These guys are running and gunning tonight to get that number 1 and the number 2 spot, which are going to be locked in here for the 2005 season that they are running. Currently, driver out there on the track is Kevin Balmer. He's feeling pretty confident here tonight. As I had a chat with him earlier, he said, you know, the track felt okay, but he's a little nervous about going first here. The track not really rubbered up at all. It's going to be scrubbing a little bit around these turns, and definitely that track surface is going to do a little bit of punishment. So as he gets around for his first lap here, hopefully we'll have the opportunity to see a couple of laps from him and at least get fired off. You see two drivers sitting there at the end of pit road getting ready to go here in just a moment. Nick Gillis is going to be one of them, and I believe the next one is going to be Ronnie Norman out there in the number 7. Drivers will be trickling in, though, to go ahead and get a fast lap down. Currently looking pretty good here for Kevin Balmer. Right now he's at a 24:57 on his first lap there through turn 1 and 2, and that's going to be a good time to go ahead and set down. Joining alongside me tonight here is Stella. We won't try to roll too fast. It's going to be a long night of qualifying. We got a lot of stats of what you see here of what these guys are doing and how they've really kind of come about to this position.
Yeah, this is new and interesting for both me and the viewers out here tonight. So, like you say, don't take it too fast.
Yep. All right, so going ahead and knocking down one lap there. First time is going to be a 48.96. Pretty solid time there for Kevin. So we'll see how we can go ahead and finish this up here. Let's go ahead and see if we can get a little squeeze. There we go. Maybe shrink this down just a hair. That way we can get a little more here of the racetrack. Right now, Kevin Balmer, keep in mind, he finished 8th last year in the 375. He's going to be looking to see if he can repeat that finishing process that he had the last time we were at Daytona. Second time around here, he's going to see if he can beat it. 48.959. There it is. 48.342. So not bad out of Kevin Balmer after finishing 10th in the points last year. You guys might remember him from the AOL machine. And currently Kevin Balmer, he's going to be going ahead and looking to see how we can do here and get this underway. Waiting to see Stella.
So that's our first qualifier.
Yep. All right, and that should bring us up to Ronnie Norman. If I remember right, I think he's got the nickname Ronnie Stormin' Norman out there in the number 7. He actually won Atlanta in the Next Gen Cup back in 23. So he was 4th in the 2023 championship in the National Oval Racing Association. And Stella, you want to talk about a crazy number. This guy right here, Ronnie Norman, awfully quiet. We haven't seen a lot of action out of him, but I think we're going to see a little bit out of him this year. Right now, Ronnie Norman is going to be looking to knock another start. Currently, he is sitting at 116 starts here at the National Oval Racing Association, the sanctioned series that these guys are running. I mean, that should be a pretty crazy number for the amount of starts he's been able to get.
Yeah, not bad. He's currently the only one in the Robbie Gordon Motorsports team this year. So he might be looking to gather a few more teammates.
Yep. Take a look how Ronnie Norman is taking a bite there to the inside. Kind of an old school way of hovering down toward that yellow line. Guys did know that they can block down there and not have to worry about anybody passing underneath of them at that yellow line. As Jake Christenberry is now getting ready to get out there onto the track. I believe Nick Gillis in the 28's getting ready to go. And it looks like Kevin Balmer, his time will stand. Good job there. Let's move on to Nick Gillis. Stella, I'll go ahead and poke you at this. Nick Gillis has earned the nickname Nick Nightmare Gillis. He is a two-time Daytona winner here in Nora. Although not scoring on the poles many times there, he has had some opportunities to sling on through. You want to take a guess of how many, who actually has the most poles at this track?
I'd say Josh Conover.
There you go. Actually, tied with Josh Conover will be the number 24
Really?
out there of Vincent Arthur.
Vincent Arthur.
Yep.
I would have been, those were my 2 calls, and I would have been right either way. I love it.
Yep. Now, what'll really launch your mind is laps led actually is going to be held by Vincent Arthur. Conover actually has less than a third of those laps led that Vincent Arthur has, and actually has come away with the most amount of wins. Josh Conover has.
Very good. Okay.
So Nick Gillis going ahead and knocking down his first lap there, 49.11. He's going to have to do a little bit better. Looks like the 48 is going to be our lucky area. I have heard drivers talk of possibly nudging the high 47, but I don't know how they're doing that outside of the draft. That's going to be daggone impossible to get going. Looks like Joseph Andujar, one of our rookies, is firing up here in the 07. He's going to get Allen out there.
Rookie, I remember him from last season. Maybe.
All right, Nick Gillis goes in and secures that second spot. Good job. Was able to pick up over half a second there. That works very well for him. Let's see who else is getting on out there. I believe Joseph Andujar. There he is in the 07 machine. I think, Stella, you might remember him back there from the Army car that we saw last season.
Yeah.
So we'll see how he
Yes,
can
I'm
do.
also looking out in the chat. And Josh Conover over here, itching to get out there and see how this wind is going to slow me down.
Yeah. Speaking of slowing down, Joseph Andujar, actually, he moved from that 01 with MBV Motorsports last year to the RCR team in the 07. So he's pretty excited to be joining a new team here this season out there in his Chevrolet. But I think the biggest thing he's going to be looking at when we're talking about holdbacks here is looking to run well this year. This guy had a 15.5 place finish at plate tracks last year. So he's going to be looking to try to get better in the top 10s. He said he's feeling pretty confident with the guys that he has been able to surround himself with, and he's going to be looking to do just that. Looks like he does score, looks like a 48.72. That's going to be really rough out there for Andujar. Got to square that away. I see Josh Conover saying he's pretty excited to see how this style is working up here. Yeah, buddy, a lot of work, but it's still got a few little hiccups there. As you can see, our fourth place driver, all I'm showing is a 3. So Joseph Andujar, I got to do a little squaring away to get him wedged in there to get that on the up and up.
Well,
all right.
he's the third.
I see. All right, if I'm not mistaken, I believe the number 11 of Jake Christenberry is going out there. He's another one we're going to have to make a modification to out there on the deal. His name is actually too long for me getting it wedged in there. Now, some guys notice the number 11 normally driven out there by Denny Hamlin, but this is actually before Hamlin got out there. This is actually during the time when Jason Leffler was driving for Joe Gibbs Racing. So Jake Christenberry is going to be rocking the 11 here as he gets on around the track.
I like it.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. Conover's getting it now. He's getting it now. Yeah, there's a couple things we're going to try and square away for some of our new drivers out there. It's going to be pretty exciting. We can't wait to see what the rest of these guys can do. I know LJ Hernandez, he's going to be pretty pumped up about what we got going on here. And see how well he can get rocking. Let's see. On the first one, how we looking, Stella?
I just went down and picked up Nick Gillis in the pits after his pole tryout.
Yeah.
And brought him up to see if he'd like to interview him.
Cool. All right. Well, it seems you seem to be holding on to some fast times out here. Nick Gillis, talk to me out here, buddy. What is nightmare mean to us? What should it mean to us?
I try to embody the Dale Earnhardt, I guess, with that. The strike home the fear, I guess, when somebody sees the man in white, I guess, in this case, because got the white car, the old Gatorade green and orange. Managed to not even think about it and support my team all season long. Wow. Another different sponsor, but yeah, car felt good. And I think I try to keep it off the bottom, and I think that might be a little bit of a key to the fast. You get too far down on that bottom, and you're just going to bottom out the entire way through the corner, and yeah, you're going to lose off speed.
So as rough as this track is, I mean, is that what you're noticing? This car's kind of hopping around on everybody?
Oh yeah, and you'll notice it in the race, and a lot of us believe that was part of, if you remember in the shootout, how the top line just absolutely dominated that, and not enough cars would commit to the bottom. We think that the bottom can still work if you get enough cars to commit to it, but early on those bumps, it just is so much easier to just kind of ride up top and avoid them. It seems like the cars are able to stick a little bit better together up top and away from those bumps. Like those bumps upset something and you can't really get up close to it.
Huh. Well, I would say, taking a look, kind of rewinding back to that shootout race, it looked like Josh Conover and his team were making the bottom work. But I think as soon as that, enough people started committing, that's where the trouble happened. And I'm sure you remember that giant wreck we had right there at the end, which was pretty intense. Guys slinging all over the track, and definitely having to head to the backup cars here this week. If you have any information or any advice for some of these guys getting ready to qualify, are you saying the bottom line, you got to stick to it for qualifying and just set your car up actually for the outside line for a race day? Well,
it's going to vary, because I think on race day you're talking about who can get the most cars into a line, essentially. It doesn't matter if it's this track with these cars or whatever. Whatever line is going to have more cars is going to be an advantage in whatever form of iRacing that you do, in whichever form of Daytona. But I do think that the bumps here kind of pull cars apart a little bit, and maybe the outside can get a little bit of an advantage to that. But we did some testing, and it seemed like even if it was like 5 versus 4, the bottom line would prevail. So it's just getting more cars in a line. So we'll see how that plays out. But for qualifying, I don't know that the absolute bottom is the line. I think you bottom out too much and could prove its own issue. But we'll see how it goes. I've already just got bumped to 3rd, so.
That's all right. I thought actually Jared Skinner may have had a problem out there. We did see down on the backstretch him heading toward the infield all of a sudden after he did nail that second spot. But looks like his car may be A-okay. It's already sitting down in pit. And I think Kane Hoy is going to get ready to go here. All right, Nick, congratulations, man. Hopefully we'll see you start in the top 10. We still got a lot of drivers to get through, and maybe that 28 Ford can rock on through. You want to give me any shout-outs for your sponsors out there and people out here are kind of taking a peek and watching you?
Well, shout out to you guys, as always. Love what you do and putting this on for us. Shout out to the other admins, and to John Gordon and Kyle Rochelle and Chris Height for forming the rest of this Penske racing team. And we look forward to this year with you guys and everybody. And I'm going to go watch the national championship. Go Canes.
All right, buddy. Well, definitely have us on the side there and figure out where you're going to get ready to start, and we'll hopefully we'll see you at the Gatorade 125s.
I gotta make the sponsors proud for that one.
See?
Got Gatorade on the car. Gotta do that.
Better put it in the front. All right, awesome.
Thanks for having me up here.
Thanks, buddy. All right, Nick Gillis there in the 28. Looks like I finally got a driver pulling on off here. Brad Fulham out there in the 91 Ford, I think, is our next driver to get lined up here. Did want to kind of mention a little bit out there about Jared Skinner. Did you know, Stella, Jared Skinner, last time he was out here, only made a couple of starts out there for Chip Nassy Racing, and he moves over to Morgan McClure this year in the 04. So kind of keep that, in mind of what that's going on.
Yeah, that's interesting. I guess maybe something came up in his life and he couldn't stick with the season, but good to see him back.
Yeah, speaking of keeping up, right now Brad Fulham just barely makes it. Cutoff time, they have 2 minutes to be ready to be lined up from when the white flag shows out for the driver qualifying. Brad Fulham made it with just barely a second left, so very, very close. Brad Fulham made 9 starts last year, with his best finish being at 6th in Chicagoland. You guys might remember him probably from the 31 car in RCR. So fancy that. He moves actually the Evernham Motorsports team. You guys may remember Dustin Cleveland, Cody Reeder running at that. And he'll be looking to see if he can do kind of repeat that with those guys. Those guys always finish up front and very, very strong as long as the race can stay clean. So honestly, he has run here at Daytona once before, finished back at 15th. He's going to be looking to charge a little farther forward. We did see Jake Christenberry. He actually finished 4th in the Next Gen Cup in the Daytona 500 with an average finish of 17.5 position. So, yuck. He's going to be looking to work a little bit harder. Well, honestly, Stella, you kind of look at me. I'm not really poking the guy at all, but, you know, when you get to a super speedway, if you can get a team around you and stay out of trouble, you should have solid top 10s. Once you start aiming toward that middle of the field and back, that means you're either super speedway, you're always in trouble. You get out there, your team, you can't get your team to work together, and everything kind of falls apart as we go.
Yeah, but I look at these races, they're long enough, the tracks are big enough, even if you got to run down because you've, had a little scrape or whatnot, you have a good chance of not being down like 12 laps like you would at Dover.
Yeah. Well, right now I do want to I want you to go ahead, and I believe you have caught up actually with Kevin Baumler down there, and he is going to be excited to have a conversation with you.
I have caught up with Kevin. How was the track out there? Anything weird some of your competitors ought to know about, or should we keep it quiet?
Oh, I think we're going to keep it quiet looking at that lap time right now. It's rough, but there's a certain line I think that you have to run. I'm hoping that I nailed it, but there's a lot of fast guys yet to run.
I was going to say, so far you're sitting that pole. That's pretty sweet.
She just duped you.
Oh.
Tony Erie put a good motor in the car, so shout out to Tony and all the DI guys.
Beautiful.
Good deal. So you got plans for after the race? Because I noticed Nick Geilis says he's going to go run and watch the Hurricanes.
Yeah, I just turned that game on, so I'm chilling watching that. Probably going to hang out with Ryan and Brady and kind of watch it in qualifying here too. But
Good.
yeah, really happy with that. Happy with that lap time. Hopefully we can hang on to it. It'd be a good start to the season. Had a decent season last year, and unfortunately had some personal issues come up, so I wasn't able to really participate too much in the chase. But looking to build on success from last season. Didn't win any points races or anything, but we did win the Prelude, so we got a little bit of a feather in the cap.
Yeah. No, I would like to see you more on the field this year. So, because we did miss you there at the end of the season last time. So, you got any shout-outs, little sponsors, anything like that? You want to say hi to the family?
Oh yeah, just gotta thank you guys for doing everything you do for this broadcast and putting up with our stuff sometimes. And shout out to everybody over at DI, Brady, and Dalton, and Ryan. And yeah, hopefully it'll be a good season, fun season. Looks like we got a lot of new faces in here, so should be good.
I'm looking forward to it too. I'm glad you are.
Beautiful. Yep. And I always love seeing new blood out here, and when guys are able to come out here and lay down some fast times. Kevin, hate hearing you had personal issues going on. I miss the AOL machine out there running for running for the playoffs. I will say I am going to point my finger at you. I had you in my fantasy running to make it to the Final Four, and you flubbed me. But we'll
yeah. I apologize for that. RCR's money got a little tight there, so we had to shut down the operation for a while. But we're over here at DI now, so we'll see how the season goes.
Bummer. All right, buddy. Well, we'll go ahead and like I said, we'll see how it goes. And Kevin, appreciate you, buddy. And keep biting on the edge of your hat there. I know that lap's going to have to hold. You were very close to the 48.342, and a lot of guys are nudging very, very close to it. Good luck to you out there, buddy.
Yep, thanks, guys.
All right, that should do it. Kevin Balmer getting excited. I know he's pretty pumped up about what we got going on out here tonight. All right, looks like Brad Fulham is going to get a rerun out there. He only got one lap, and he'll get another run to qualify behind Chase Durheim. And Durheim, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, was out there in the 99 machine last year, so that will be where he is starting. Little hiccup out there as we try to run down our new driver, the number 21 Ford of Donald Kite. Honestly, this rookie is feeling pretty confident here. I talked to him how he felt with the new drivers out here. He said he's feeling pretty a little sketched out. I would say, if we could have the guy tune into some of the broadcasts, I think he'd know what he's really up against rather than just kind of play runs with these guys.
You're so bad.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, honestly, you find out that Atlanta was a mess up. We had a guy sidestepping and almost kill the field out there. But, when we get out here, you see the speed, you see it's not just like camaraderie. It's what Brady and I preach 100 times. Racecraft. You know when to send it. You know when to check up a little bit. And that's something we're still going to be working with the 24 on.
Oh, wow.
Well, Vincent Arthur, he is a full send it kind of guy. If he sees that opening, he's going to stab it in there. And I mean, I will say, you look back at Jeff Gordon's. You look at Jeff Gordon's kind of driving. Jeff Gordon did kind of the same thing. Sat back a little bit, waited, worked with Evernham and just kind of sat back, let it work, and then all of a sudden that dude would open it up and just get through the rest of the field. So Donald Kite, congratulations. Third place is where he's going to settle down in. 48.470. Still a ton of drivers left to go here, as I believe Chase Durheim is getting ready to go. He's out there in the number 16. And he is getting pretty excited from the late, great Greg Biffle there.
Oh, yeah. Greg Biffle car for Roush Racing.
Yep. Definitely he will be a guy we're going to highlight a good bunch this year. Unfortunately, losing Greg Biffle to a plane accident there. His recent passing, the 16 machine getting on out there. We'll see how Chase Durheim can do. Right now he is showing as a rookie here for this season. Knocking down the first lap here. Where's that snug him in? At the very back. Still 49. Told you that 48's going to be a really good mark here.
Oh, yeah.
But we still have drivers like Brady Moats. We still have drivers like Brian Jones that's got to get out there. We've got Josh Conover that's got to get out there. I mean, we still got a lot of big names. Vincent Arthur has shown up. The 24 machine's going to be ready to go.
Right.
So Dark Star Garage out there rooting on, saying, be like the Biff.
Love it.
I'm not. If I'm not mistaken, I'm kind of poke you a little bit here. Greg Biffle, actually, this was his year. He won 6 races.
Holy mackerel!
I'll test you on that. I believe it is.
All right. I was just looking at, we can expect to see Chase Durheim come in after Brad Fulham here.
Okay, so he's coming in after Chase. Okay.
Brad Fulham will take that other run to qualify after Chase.
Okay, just confirming because I knew back when We had both the Durheim boys out here. I wasn't sure if I was keeping an eye out for the second. Chase and Chance.
Yeah. Yes.
Chase
yes.
Durheim,
I'm
boom,
sorry,
third.
Oh my.
Yeah, he's speedy. Yeah, Chase is not a guy you really sleep on out there. That guy could definitely get the job done. He knows where he needs to be, how to make it happen, and just I don't know how he can. I would say how he can come in clutch. You know, he hangs back so much. He doesn't press in. You know, he made four. Okay, here's one. You know, he made 13 starts last season. He won at New Hampshire. Who would have thought? You know, so you remember him from the 99 that we actually had, I believe it was Jeff Burton in it. He moves to the Greg Biffle car this year. I'm really hoping that Chase Durheim can come out here and make some faster runs. So Brad Fulham is going to get a rerun here out there in the 91 Ford. Currently is showing him in 9th. Stella, I've got to say, this is probably the best thing for him. That if Brad Fulham scored a 48.593 on his first lap, this guy should be pretty close to the pole position here on his second lap.
Okay. Yeah, you were questioning Biffle. Yes, he did have 6 wins. Do you want to know the tracks?
No, we'll save that for Daytona. I want to know if it was, so it is this season.
Yes.
Dog, look at me.
Yes.
All right.
You're hateful.
Brad Fulham going ahead and moving from 9th up to 6th. That's got to make him feel a little more comfortable as he snugs in behind Chase, Donald Kite, and Nick Geilis in their Ford. So he'll be getting back out there. Somebody's going to go out there and flying sidekick that 91. Get your butt back down in the pit. All right, Hunter Sr. out there in the number 4. I think last season we saw him out there in the Silver Bullet, scrubbed to the wall on qualifying. So Hunter Sr. out here, he's actually been able to tune into the broadcast. He's happy we're here. I appreciate him coming out to the track here today. Bandit Racing League. Him so smart. Why did boy, maybe I shouldn't use that accent.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
Enough to get me kicked off the air for PC issues. Oh, boy. All right, where is Hunter Sr.? He is doing a heck of a job out here. I'm waiting to see. The big name I haven't seen right now is Dalton Tucker. He's actually in a pretty controversial number out there this season.
Yes.
But we will we'll bring that up when he gets out there on the track if we end up seeing him tonight.
Okay.
Yep, I'm not gonna stir the pot until the pot is here. Oh boy.
Okay. Well, he's not the only one, so.
All right, so Hunter Sr. looking to see if he can get just a little more here. Currently hovering in the 11th spot. He's trying to get his first lap time in.
And as soon as you do that, I think we'll have Chase Durheim ready to tell you how he made that nice third place run.
Tell me, holy cow. All right, let's see where we go. Let's see how we go. Where is the Durheim?
Oh, I know where the Durheim is. I'm just waiting for Senior here to get his final time.
Okay. Bring me the Durheim.
Okay. And the other thing I have to let you know before you do your Chase Durheim interview is that Dalton Tucker will not be here tonight.
No Dalton Tucker.
Uploaded.
Whoa. No. Wow. Okay, well, that's a bummer. Starting from the rear of the field, but we've seen him fight his way up to the front. Maybe he'll be trying to work exactly with the number that's on his car. We do have Chase Durheim here. And Chase, well, we move out of the Jeff Burton car and into the Greg Biffle machine. It's qualified third here so far. Rookie in the season, fastest Ford right now. How did it feel out there on the track?
It was bumpy. It was very bumpy. I'll tell you that much. I don't know. It's going to be kind of an interesting race, I think. As long as you can control your car and pick the right lanes at the right time, I think you're going to be all right. But you might see some accidents because of the bumps, I think. That's my one prediction.
Yeah, 100%. As guys are getting bumped and kind of flopping around. I believe it was the 04 of Jared Skinner. I saw the first car actually bottom out. Right now, that turn through 1 and 2 is extremely tough out there. You know, as the tires, I mean, it was only a couple of laps, but as the tires start to seed in through practice and things like that, I mean, is the car seeming to loosen up on you guys at all, or are we going to be a little nervous when it comes to the Gatorade 125s?
Yeah, it definitely frees up a little bit. We did some runs there in practice before this qualifying session. And I think if you're into a run a little ways, I'm going to be a little nervous if I'm on the outside. The guy on the inside is going to just get a little squirrely and get up into you. But I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. I wasn't able to do the bug shootout, so I don't really have quite as much experience on this car on track as some of these other guys. But definitely looking forward to the 125s and learning as much as I can.
Beautiful. All right, you have been here for quite some time here in this league. What's the? I'm going to pressure you here a little bit. What is the chance of you turning some more laps here and being a little more consistent on your attendance, buddy?
Yeah, I'm going to bring it this year, man. I've been in quite a few leagues over the years, and I got to say this is probably the most pumped up and excited I am for a season in a league at all ever. So I know the competition's really tough, and last year I wasn't able to make it as much because of farming in the spring and the fall. So I'm going to try really hard to not miss as many races. I'm going to really, really try. I can't promise I'll make all of them, but I'm going to bring it this year, I think. I don't know about Daytona. That's kind of a crapshoot, but come Auto Club, I'm going to be ready. And I know these guys are really tough, but I'm going to hope I'm going to give them a run for their money.
All right.
All right. I noticed you were in for 13 races last season. You had one win. Was that your Auto Club?
That was a random New Hampshire race, I think, like you guys said earlier.
Yep.
Okay.
My problem last year was like the second or first race I was in, I got crashed at Daytona. And as I was fixing my damage and stuff on pit road, I drove through too many boxes every single time I pitted. So I had to start from the back. I didn't get to qualify for like the next 8 or the rest of the year, really. So my hardest problem was getting through the field in enough time. In some of those races, everybody was so clean, we didn't get any caution. So there was no way to get through traffic and keep up with the leaders and stuff. So hopefully clean slate, I can qualify where I deserve now and hopefully have a better shot from some of these races.
Yeah, I think you finished the season still having 3 races from the back of the field.
Yeah, I did. I never got that quite down to 0. I don't know if they'll carry over or not, but I hope they don't.
God,
I really hope
I
they
sure hope not.
You better learn how to start sweet talking here pretty soon.
don't. Yeah, I know.
Awesome. All right. Well, Chase, go ahead and give me a shout outs here for any of your sponsors out there, buddy, or the people out here watching you.
Well, I was in the 99 car last year, and I had to move over to the 16 this year. It's just terrible what happened to Craig. To be honest, I was a Dale Jr., Kevin Harvick fan growing up, but you don't really, nobody didn't like Craig Biffle, right? Like when he won, I was happy. You know, he's just always a good guy, and I feel somewhat honored to be able to drive his car this year, and I just, thinking of him and his family, and yeah, just a really tough situation there.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got some big shoes to fill, and a lot of people are going to be watching you. No pressure out there, but try to keep it clean, buddy. I think you got it. We just got to get you out here and try to get you into the chase.
Yeah. I hope I can make enough races for that, and yeah, just be like Biff all year long. Thank you guys for putting on these shows. It's always really nice to be able to go back and watch good production of these races. So thank you guys for that, and look forward to some interviews hopefully in the future.
Sweet.
Right.
I hope so, buddy. Thanks, Chase.
All right, see you guys.
All right, buddy. That's Chase Durheim there. We were able to get a hold of him. We did see John Skavanicki get out there and race in the 38. Talk about exciting. He went ahead and he goes ahead and knocks it down, sitting in the second position. But that's short-lived as Wayne Sparks, who was in the Joey Stats number 5 machine, who was driven by Joey Stats out there. But if I'm not mistaken, that should be the Kyle Busch machine for Hendrick Motorsports. Wayne Sparks opened it wide open there, goes ahead and knocks down and puts another Chevy into the top 3. That gives us 2. So Baumler and Wayne Sparks, boy, I tell you what, right now, 48-405, Baumler Boy, I think he's missing the brim of his hat now. That one was close.
It was very, very close. I like it.
Yeah, pretty wild here so far. So Dalton Tucker with a no-show here tonight. Skavanicki, actually, you might remember him from the Petty Enterprises. It was racing in the 43. He's going to be racing with Robert Yates in the 38. So we'll keep an eye on him. Wayne Sparks there in the 5. He was in the 84. Actually, you might remember it as Wayne Eastwood out there in the 84. He now moves to the 5, started 11 races, and finished in the top 10, 7 out of his 11 starts.
Nice.
Whew. Good consistency. That's exactly how you get in there. As it looks like, I believe we are catching up with Kyle Taub here in the 32.
That's the Bobby Hamilton car.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, so this is Bobby Hamilton. This is when Ricky Craven moved out of the car?
Yep.
Okay. Bummer. Cool. All right. I should get us back on track here. Kyle Taub now is holding in a 15th place spot. We'll see how we can get rolling here. And now we'll now go ahead and knock down a start. Next up, a couple of guys are getting ready down at the end of pit road. I think Matthew George might be our guy in the 25 machine, so we'll hold tight. Glad to see Matthew George back out here, returning for another run. There's Conover out there saying, Hendrick Power, let's go. As he's rooting on Wayne Sparks out there. As you know, as you very well know, wow. Welcome to the league, Kyle Taub, 32 Chevrolet, 4th place. Holy cow, that was some speed. Great job there. Somebody will radio up to the 32 here in just a moment. Bring it down to pit road. So as he is heading off the racing surface there, good job. And that'll go ahead and allow our next driver to get out there onto the track. That's actually going to be Ryan Housden. Ryan Housden out there in the number 15 in the Michael Waltrip machine. And we'll see how he does here tonight. And Stella, Ryan Housden, boy oh boy, there's just so much to talk about that guy. If we think about what we saw last year out of Ryan Housden, that dude finished 3rd at the Glen. I mean, he opened our eyes when this dude showed up. Racing there with Dalton Tucker and Hunter Sr. last year. And in 20 starts was able to finish in the top 10 12 times. So Ryan Housden, a very tough driver here. Very tough. You'll probably remember him from the Target machine he was originally driving.
You take a lot for granted.
Oh, ha, gotcha. No, remember. All right.
Oh, no. No, I'm sitting here doing check marks, trying to figure out who's in what car. I'm doing stars for interviews. I am rocking around here like a crazy person.
All right.
So,
well, appreciate our guys out there. For Nora, going ahead and controlling qualification here tonight. Christopher Heights, Josh Conover, and Brady Most. These guys are definitely taking in, taking their time, making sure things are getting knocked down. We still have a few guys trickling in, though. Josh Conover out there going ahead and letting us know. 15 have taken a time here tonight, and 15 are left to go. Ryan Housden is going to be our 16th driver as he knocks down a 16th spot. 49, almost a 49 flat there, pretty close, but I expect to see this guy start in top 10. If he doesn't, something's wrong out there. That 15 car looking a little stiff, though, getting around this turn. I think that's got me a little concerned. As we see a couple of things that are moving and shifting out there on the track. Love seeing what we got going on here tonight. Fantastic run out of all of our drivers. So Housden gonna go ahead and come across the line for the final time here. And see if we can put money on it. There we go, 8th place. Not bad for Ryan Housden. Still, Kevin Balmer, he was, like he said, we got some fast drivers out here, but have not been able to beat that time. Balmer gets out there and does an awesome job, nails down the number 1 spot. and has yet to been defeated yet after 15 other drivers. Well, we'll see what happens as we move over to the 22 machine here of Craig Martin. The 22 machine out there should be the Caterpillar machine. Stella, is this the year Ward Burton drove this car?
No, this would be Scott Wimmer in 2005.
Okay, 2005. Okay, so we'll see how Craig Martin does out here. He is actually a new driver here and the owner of Bill Davis Racing. So we'll see how he does out here. I hate seeing him as kind of a lone ranger. I think Jimmy Spencer had a little bit of that when he was out racing. Kind of out there with no help, so he is going to have to make friends out there on race day. That's going to be pretty tough for him.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Some of these guys have these teams that have started, but there's only the one fella. When we hit these plate tracks, they need some teammates. So I would venture to kind of kick them in the butt and say, "Come on, recruit."
Yep. Well, I do want to note that Nick Ham actually qualified out there. I think I might have my eyes closed for Robert Yates Racing. His actual average finish is about 14 on the plate tracks. You know, that guy, Nick Ham actually did really well. You'll see the 88 machine normally driven out there, I believe, by Dale Jarrett. He actually finished very well out there at Martinsville. He survived enough to make it up to finish 6th at Martinsville. And he's going to be looking to try to turn his race around. Now, I know Nick Ham, he's consistent. He's here. We just got to go ahead and get that guy a team he can feel pretty confident around. And Craig Martin is going to be making very few friends as he's going to be starting in the top 5.
Woo-hoo!
3rd place for the Canadian.
Wow. All righty. Is that our only Canadian here in this league?
No, I do not believe so. I believe Brad Fulham is as well.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, rock'em sock'em here. Here comes Kyle Rochelle. You can't miss this guy at all. Moves over to the Penske Racing Team this year, as he's our 2nd place finisher in the 2025 NORA Next Gen Cup Series in the Daytona 500. 6-time podium finisher and 78 starts across NORA. So Kyle Rochelle looking to open that Ford up. See if we can get that Kodak machine up to the front here. Kyle Rochelle saying he was feeling a little weird about these Gen 4 cars. He said this thing is super fast, but it does not want to handle. So I expect to see Kyle Rochelle. He said he would be happy at least with a top 12. And he's going to be looking to see if he can peek into that spot. Currently sitting right now in the 18th spot. Looks like a 49-15. From where he originally gets started here. We'll see if he can knock down any more. And the 48 is called to the line.
Okay, number 77 in 2005 was a Travis, and I don't know how to put these letters together.
Tell me. Kavapil.
Kavapil?
Yes, he actually used to be an old truck driver. He would, well, not like 18-wheeler. He actually raced in the truck series. Won a bunch of championships down there, and they moved him up to Cup. I was wondering what year he came up.
Oh, good for you. Okay. There you go.
All right. So Kyle Rochelle, 14th spot. I told you he would be happy if he can get somewhere around 12th. He gets just that. So 14th spot for him. All right. LJ Hernandez. Looks like the 84 firing off here. As you can see, Josh Conover sitting on that start line there of pit road. He's going to be pretty excited. Now, LJ Hernandez, you guys might remember him. Honestly, not on the track. You'll remember him out here in the chat. He's going to give this season a go in the 84 Chevrolet. He's going to be pretty excited. We showed you guys just how easy it was to get him out here. And he'll be racing in the Hendrick Motorsports gang.
Excellent.
Well, it's nice. It's nice when you get guys out there in the chat. They're like, hey, how do I join the league? We give them directions. They actually follow them, and look at that. Boom, here he is qualifying.
Number 84. My goodness. There we have just had a plethora of new drivers. This is almost impossible to keep up with, but I am doing my best.
That's okay. What I tried to do a little bit here on the side with the help of Josh Conover, if you look over in the tower, you'll see a little R next to these guys' names. That'll signify these guys are rookies.
Okay.
Here for the, so you see Hunter Sr., rookie. Chase Durheim, rookie. Scavanicki, rookie.
At which point I have to ask what declares them a rookie, because if they were here last season,
They
would
have
that
to
still
start the season. If they came in middle way, that means they became a part-time driver.
be?
This
Okay.
time they are full-time and in it. So here comes Josh Conover. He is nervous here. He's out there in the Jimmy Johnson number 48 Lowe's machine. And I see GT Smartwashes saying, you better watch that 14 machine out there. He's going to be the one to watch. And that's going to be, I believe, Kenneth Chaney. We'll see how he does out there in his Chevrolet. Currently, I'm keeping an eye here on Josh Conover's Chevrolet. Let's see if he can do it. Right now, looking
Coming.
pretty good here so far. Section 2 with a 2509. Let's see if he can get across the line at some sort of decent speed here last round. Conover said he expects to start almost where his old car number was, back in the 8th spot. We'll find out if that's going to be true.
And I think we have someone who wants to get interviewed in real time, not just in the chat. LJ Hernandez is here to speak with us this evening.
All right, go ahead there, Stella.
Hey, number 84, LJ Hernandez. What you doing?
I'm doing good. How y'all doing tonight?
Not too bad. It's wild to hear you. We've been seeing your name on the chat for so long, and here you are kind of putting your money where your mouth is.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Definitely trying to get out here and run some laps with these guys and, continue to grow as a driver, essentially. Appreciate Josh for letting me come out and run the 84 with these guys.
Yeah, you're going to have to tell me, because in the number 84 wasn't running in the 2005, so who are you representing?
Oh, man. I'll be running with Josh Conover and those guys this season.
No,
on
I
a
mean,
part-time
who's-
schedule.
Yeah, who's
But,
on your car?
I want to say Kyle Busch was this number. I don't know exactly.
Nope. He
Josh
was the
kind of
5.
sent it to me. Josh just
Okay.
sent me the paint scheme, so I really don't know.
Okay, I'll put down here Josh's fault.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
But speaking of which, Patrick, tell us where Josh just finished.
Josh Conover just finished in the 2nd spot and just barely missed Kevin Balmer by 20 thousandths of a second. That was close. Not bad for his 343rd start coming in the Daytona 500 that's upcoming. He is the 2nd time most all-time wins across Norris Sanction Series with 40, and is a 5-time winner here at Daytona. So definitely expected to see this guy nail a top 5 start here. Josh Conover, heck of a job there in the Chevrolet. Awesome. We'll kind of hold our breath. I'm sure Josh will want to fill our ear with what the heck happened out there. But go ahead, talk to LJ and ask. I've got to know, LJ. When we take a look at races like Daytona here, you're looking to build as a driver. You're looking to get out here. You're showing everybody how easy it is to get out on the track and race with these guys. Have you noticed anything when you're racing with these guys? Is it harder than it looks on the track, or is it exactly what you see here on the broadcast?
Honestly, it's what it is on the broadcast. It's very much the same. Essentially, these guys, man, they race hard all night long, and they're trying their best not to make any crazy moves to ruin anyone else's race. Everyone races with respect, and there's really no more that you can say. Like, these guys are respectful. They race their hardest at all times, and they're not going to let you have it just for free. You got to come and earn it out here.
Telling you, that's a pretty good tagline for the league. I can't think of a better way to describe it.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. All right, man. Shout out time. Talk to me about your sponsors and people out here watching you now
Shout out to my parents, my family. Alan is king. You know, I know she watches. You know, pretty much sponsor on the car. I believe it's CarQuest. You know, shout out to those guys for letting me run their car this year at Daytona, and hopefully we can have a nice long season.
I hope so too, buddy. And try to stay out of trouble. I know these guys definitely like seeing how far they can push the doors in before the car starts to get loose. So it's going to be pretty tough out there, and especially with the Gatorade 125s, I think we're all going to learn a little something about how this league works.
Oh yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right.
Hopefully we can put it in victory lane.
Yeah, attaboy. Attaboy. What a better place to do it than taking the Daytona 500 home on the #1 spot. All right, LJ, congratulations, buddy. We'll talk to you hopefully in the next coming weeks.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yep. All right, that's LJ Hernandez having a little conversation with us here. Glad to see him hanging out with us. He is going to be...
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Nice surprise.
Yep, ready to go. I see John Border is the one actually rolling out here. I have him currently as the number 12 Ford. I see the 7 on his car. So it may be just have him in the qualifying car, and they'll go ahead and strip the paint and get ready for it on the next run. But boy, John Border, 10th spot. Great run there from our new rookie, as he'll be getting ready to go. Josh Conover nailing the 2nd spot. I'm still beside myself. That dude was on a roll there.
Yeah, but you see what he put in the chat? He says he hopes he gets to keep it because he forgot to reset his ratios.
Reset the ratio? Oh, with the steering ratio. Got it. I was like, this is a fixed setup league. What are you talking about? All right, hopefully if Josh is still tuned in, are we running a league, I would say an open fixed league here where we are able to adjust wedge, track bar, and tire pressure? If so, I would love to hear it. Because that's what I was really excited about this year. These guys are able to make some slight adjustments out there. Okay, what do you say we take a look at the big name out there, the number 9 of Dustin Kleba, a 2-time NORA Sanctioned Series champion. 31 wins across all the series here and 2 runner-up finishes here at Daytona. I guarantee he's going to be looking to knock down a good time, already 22nd. And still rolling on. Let's see how he does on his 2nd lap here. Josh, how could you?
Yes, I knew you were gonna.
Well, what's fun
though,
is
right?
what's fun about this is if you are able to make an adjustment, drivers like the 04 that bottomed out could have added a little tire pressure to the car.
Yes.
Pick it up a little bit. It increases fuel mileage. It helped keep the temperatures down on the tires. And honestly, I mean, here at Daytona, yeah, you see that bump?
I did.
Yeah,
I saw
Dustin
his
Kleba
whole
didn't catch that one
rear
real
end.
good. He didn't catch that real well at all. That kind of bumped him around. That moves him from 22nd to 5th.
To 5th.
Boom. Not bad by the number 9 Ford. Excited to see how he
Kane.
finishes. Boy, returning back is the Casey Kane Evernham with Evernham Motorsports. He'll be getting going. I got a feeling we're going to see Matthew George get ready to go here.
Coming back in the 25. Bless your heart.
Yeah, I almost thought this was a dupe number out there for the Brian Vickers machine. He got bumped and banged up and still made it to the playoffs. I mean, there were times I think I saw the bottom of his car at one point. He came out the next week like nothing happened.
Oh.
So awesome job. And hopefully we will see a lot better out of here out of Matthew George. Now, he's pretty quiet out there. I would say he's a driver that doesn't really sweat the races. He just finishes. And a lot of times we're finding from league to league that we broadcast here, just finish the race. And you would be amazed how this goes. So, talk about finishing. So let's talk of starting. 264 starts by this guy.
There you go.
And a 5-time winner. So finishing 7th in the points last year. He's getting started at 23rd right now. Got to keep moving on. I wonder if Nick Ham had a problem out there with the race car, finishing with a 49.02. Or a 49.018.
Yes.
You see Josh Conover out there saying Kleba's on his radar, and so is Matthew George. Matthew George on a roll here. 24-24 in Section 1. Still holding a pretty good speed here. Let's see if he handles that bump. Oop. Nope, loosens him up just a hair. Coming out of 4.
Yeah, just a bit, and that is that killer bump right before they make their time.
Yep. Expect top 10. Yeah, you're going to get top 5. Fourth spot and bumping Dustin Kleba from the 5th spot, and Matthew George will be starting 4th. That leaves us with all Chevrolets currently in the top 5. All right. He's going to trust the process. The number 8, Brady Moats. He moves out of the number 1 machine. And he's getting ready to roll on. So the Dale Jr. machine in the Chevrolet. That was looking to pick up the name Mr. Restrictor Plate after his dad. Brady Moats takes over for this Chevrolet, and we'll see how he gets going out there. If I'm not mistaken, the baseball scheme on the race car should not be run this year, so we'll see. You see Josh Conover in the chat getting pretty excited. He's still hanging on. I got to say, Kevin Baumler, I bet you he's talking to the guy saying, I cannot believe I'm still up here. He is still doing it. Brady Moats, 23rd. And let's see how he goes. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think Cody Reeder should be our next up. Yeah, we still got a lot of fast drivers. We still got Cody Reeder to go. We still have Vincent Arthur to go. You know, we still have Brian Jones to get out there. There's going to be some a lot of pressure here. Brady Moats, 181 starts, 2-time winner. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the Martinsville race,
He seemed to have dealt with that bump a whole lot better.
Yep, he finished the Martinsville race pretty well. And let's see, Moats 3rd. Oh my gosh. Woo! Josh Conover cannot believe how close that one was. 48.405. Conover looking to start on the front row.
The exact same times as Sparks. My goodness, Wayne Sparks has a 48.405.
That he does. That he does. So Brady Moats will be coasting into pit road here. Cody Reeder getting out there. Now, Cody Reeder, he's your, I would say this is your, not the ace in the hole. This is maybe that ace up the sleeve here. This guy offset pits almost every race, and half the time it pays off. He ends up having just enough fuel to make it. He has just enough to squeak by. He's able to hang out there during caution laps. Cody Reeder it takes the name of the game and just absolutely changes it when we do get to the end of the race. Now, I would say kind of pit strategy. We're going to have to throw that really around in the Brian Jones and Dalton Tucker area. But currently, Cody Reeder, you know, has actually a season champion here with Nora. Finished 5th last season.
They need to work on practicing this old track, though. I think a lot of these guys have been running Daytona, but I'm not sure if they've been running this legacy track, because that bump or dip or whatever it is really eating some of these fellas up.
All right, Cody Reeder slides up to 8th. That's going to go ahead and bring out the Jeff Gordon machine out there. Vincent Arthur, not very colorful right now.
No. Goodness. He's a work in progress.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, this is always qualifying. We're not 100% ready to go here. So Cody Reeder going ahead and knocking down that 8th spot. Not bad for a 6-time race winner. But you speak of season champion for Cody Reeder. How about a two-time season champion, Vincent Arthur, who we're currently looking at, actually finished 4th out there in the standings. And was actually really working hard to see if he could get the most wins last season. Couldn't do it, although he had 7. So very tough. Just kind of points out that this league is tougher than it looks. I mean, if you win 7 races and still can't get it.
In any other league, that would have been a walk away. But here, you really got to bring it.
Yep. So we talked about Chase Durheim having such a fast time. That boy's bumped already down to 12th. Yep, so that makes for a rough night out there. So he'll be starting toward the back.
Mid-pack.
Yeah. Also want to note out there that right now Conover's getting real nervous here, and so is Baumler. Vincent Arthur extremely fast. And is going to be looking to see if he can come up with some sort of an answer here. Vincent Arthur has scored 4 poles, and remember, he has the most laps led of 360 at Daytona. Where is he starting this time? 6th. Whoa!
I'm going to say something kind of outlandish here. The guys who ran last week at the Bud Shootout and felt this track, I think are doing better than those who did not.
Oh, 100%. 100%. But I would say these cars are built up a little bit loose. Consider this car is going to be completely different in the draft.
Okay.
So these bumps will be, I would say, even more treacherous out there, as they're going to be hopping around and bobbing and weaving a good bit while the outside line tries to make a pass. I mean, it's going to be tough. So we move on to Jacob Gladelick now out there in the number 20. And one of my favorite drivers out there in the Tony Stewart machine.
The Jacob or the Tony?
Ah, the Tony. But Jacob too, he's a heck of a driver. I would say this was the underdog of the Final 4.
Oh,
yeah. I think a lot of people kind of brushed him off. He finished 3rd in the standings last year.
Yes, he did. That was pretty wild, honestly. Because we have another league where somebody goes in and they end up never winning a race, but just being there every single night, having top 5s, having top 10s, and that was Jacob's meat and potatoes, as they say. I mean, 35 starts. What do we have? A 36 race season?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way to do it. No wins, no poles.
Whoa!
But
Jacob Gladelick is in 3rd.
see?
Holy cow! Look how close. 48-3-77. Josh Conover, I'm telling you, buddy, it's going to be close. Kevin Balmer still holding that number 1 spot. Brian Jones trying to burn off a good chunk of fuel out there in the Expel machine. Atlanta's King going to be rooting on that 45. Let's see if that Ford can definitely reprise the role of top 5, as he is going to be on a roll here. 2-time champion, runner-up in the 04 season, and won 7 races just like Vincent Arthur last season. That is going to be crazy here. Brian Jones looking super fast out there. So we'll see how it goes. Right now we'll see. As I've got 2 drivers I don't believe are going to be qualifying here. Spencer Burton and Kenneth Cheney. I don't know if they were too late to grid. But very, very slow lap here for Brian Jones. 49.39. We'll see if he's doing something a little different, if he had clutched it or something here. Stella, I have seen guys actually sit down pit road and rev that engine about 5,000 RPMs to try to pull enough fuel down. You know where that trick comes from?
Yes, but getting the car lighter before you head out. But this is not a good result.
No. No, and to get a fast time out here at the track, you need 2 laps. Right now you see Brian Jones skidding all over the track there. Let's see if he was able to recover. Don't know. Brian Jones, 22nd. Wow. Back to the drawing board for the number 45 machine. Kenneth Cheney will get an opportunity to run out here. Don't see any sponsors out there on the car. Can't wait till all the TV crew and everybody come out here. We're going to have all sorts of cameras out here for you guys to show these guys off. Last driver for a 2-lap session does go to the 22nd driver there of Brian Jones. And we'll see how Kenneth Cheney can do. Right now, he's got to give it his all here for 1 lap. I don't believe Spencer Burton looks like he is going to be starting back in the pack. I'm wondering if he had engine trouble on first startup. Kenneth Cheney, let's see how he does.
$27th.
Okay, hey, not bad, not from the as long as not from the back. Now, biggest thing to take away from qualifying here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. First and second are locked in for the Daytona 500. They're going to be starting from the front row. Gatorade 125s will then mix up the rest of the field. So if we have guys that started 13th back on the inside line, so your even numbers are going to be outside, your odd numbers are inside, is they will now be able to switch back and forth on the inside line. So if you had a terrible qualifying time, but you race better in a crowd, this is a perfect time that if you start 25th to finish in 7th, guess where you're going to be starting? You're going to be starting 7th in the Daytona 500. So honestly, qualifying is where we're going to be starting in the Gatorade 125s, which will be happening next week. I should have the stream for you guys. Don't forget to hit that bell out there. That's going to be pretty exciting for these guys to get ready to go here. What an awesome qualifying lap here. I've got to say, everything pretty sturdy out there. And Kevin Baumler and Josh Conover going ahead and making that number 1 and 2 spot. They are locked in. They are locked in. That has got to be exciting here. Kevin Baumler coming away with the pole.
Yeah, he was first out and first place. I mean, that's kind of unusual. But he's got to be happy about that.
Yep. Yep, and he's going to be able to go ahead and notch his name in a pole winner here. As Conover has 4, Vincent Arthur has 4, and Joey Stats actually had 3. So best average finish does go to Conover, and you can I could list a ton of stats. We'll just stick with these, but Conover is an extremely dominant force when it comes out here to this race with wins, with poles. And he's got this thing almost in the bag. But if you see the guy out there in the chat and he's nervous of how the qualifying is going to go, he is definitely going to be nervous when it comes race time. But fortunately, he will be starting from the outside row on race day. Stella, what a race here so far. Noticing how these guys were handling around the track and the rest of the race that we saw kind of come to fruition here. What is something that these drivers probably need to take away for when it comes to the Gatorade 125s?
Get some more laps in, find out where those bumps are, and know that you do have 2 full lanes that you can definitely use for drafting and passing. Everybody says high line's the only. Some people say you can use the bottom. I would suggest not limiting yourself. So practice, practice, practice.
Yep. I agree. So go ahead and grab a hold of Kevin Baumler, our pole sitter here for the season, for the beginning of this season. We are going to be excited to see how he's going to do. So right now, Kevin Baumler, boy, oh boy, is he going to be excited to see what he gets to do and how he gets to start. Kevin, boy, you nerve-wracking all the way here to the end.
Oh, it absolutely was. I had to watch all 29 of those cars qualify, and I figured at least one of them was going to get me, but somehow somehow the first car out wins the pole. So that's pretty cool. First start for Brady and DEI. So I appreciate Brady and the rest of the team, Dalton and Ryan.
All right. You think it's the fresh track? You think it's the car number? You think it's the team? What got you around so fast here tonight?
I don't know. I was kind of looking at the weather, and it looked like the wind direction might have changed a little bit. The wind speed didn't pick up at all, but the direction changed from like northwest to west halfway through qualifying there. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it, or if it was a little bit of a cooler track, or what happened there. It might have just been the DEI power plant in the thing. I don't know. I was sweating bullets though when Josh and Jacob both went out. I knew that they were both going to be tough to beat, and glad to pick up the pole. We're locked into the Bud Shootout next year already, coming off 4 poles last year. So that's exciting. We already got one thing accomplished.
And that is talking about looking far, far forward here. Boy, because we got a ton of races this season. I think we're up to, Stella, what are we up to, 36? I think I'm up to 36 races.
Races? Oh, if you don't, points-wise, I think so.
Okay, well, it's going to be pretty tough, and I would say rather staggering to some of our drivers and our viewers out there that you guys are going to be running a full season. But Kevin Balmer is going to be leading the charge with 7 more Chevrolet. Well, let's go ahead and say 6 more Chevrolets behind you, and 1 will be to your outside. You know, when it comes to race day, and you get ready to take the green flag at the Daytona 500, you know, kind of. You know that starts history, buddy. That's when we get you out front. The lights are on you. The cameras are on you. You're crossing the line first. You know, what does teamwork go out the window? Or is it get out front and lead some laps, and we got to stay out front as long as we can?
You know, with this drafting package, I think you're going to have to work with people a lot more. We found that out in the shootout last week. This package is just completely different. You can't make moves by yourself. You're gonna have to work with people, and so I'm definitely gonna be looking to find my teammates. I'm not sure where Dalton's gonna end up since he missed qualifying, but I know Brady and Ryan are in the second duel, so I might be the single DI car, and at that point, I'm already locked onto the pole, so we might just have to ride around and try to help who we can. But come Daytona 500 time, obviously we're all 4 of us are going to try to find each other at some point and make a run towards the front.
All right, Kevin, go ahead and give me your final shout-outs here, buddy, and we'll go ahead and sign off.
Yeah, absolutely. Once again, just thanks to you and Stella for doing the broadcast for this league, and hopefully, you know, if anybody's watching tonight and thinks that this is interesting, I'm sure Josh would let anybody tag the tail end of the field for the duels or the 500. We still have some seats to fill. The admins of the league, they do a great job, and there's a lot of responsibility with this big of a league. And then a shout out to my team, Brady, for bringing me on to DEI, and my new teammates for this year, Dalton and Ryan, and Harpoon Designs for making this paint for me this year. He knocked it out of the park, so big shout out to him as well.
Beautiful. All right. Kevin Balmer will be wishing you luck, buddy. The duels are one thing, but you're still starting on the front row. I'm excited to see how this season kicks off, but we know we'll be seeing you up in the front. Congratulations, buddy.
Yep, thank you.
All right, Stella, Kevin Balmer out there in the 81 new car, new team, and definitely same old Kevin being able to get out there and just put it down where he needs to and put his money where his mouth is. He definitely did an awesome job here, and I've got to admit, you know, out of everything we saw here tonight, although his qualifying still rather interesting, I've got to say, with these guys coming around, able to figure out how to make some sort of time and make something of it. Honestly, you would think a fast lap would be very nerve-wracking out there. You know, you got to hit your mark, got to hit your spot, you got to get up to the front to get a solid starting time.
Oh yeah, it. He thought he was going to be able to walk away from the broadcast and just. But no, I like the fact that he had to sit there and make sure that he watched the rest of the qualifiers. If we look at starting with the points race at Daytona and not counting the All-Star race, we would have 37 races. But we've got the duels and we've got the All-Star race, so we are looking 39.
Sweet. Sweet. So this goes all the way to November, baby. Let's go.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right. Kevin Ballmer, Josh Conover, Jacob Gladelick, Brady Moats, and Wayne Sparks, all in their Chevrolets, finishing top 5 here tonight at qualifying. Thanks for joining us, guys. We will be kicking it off with the Gatorade 125s next week. So next Monday, bright and early, be ready for it because these guys are going to have a few more adjustments to make, and they will be back out onto the track. But from all of us here at SimTraX Broadcasting, bringing you the National Oval Racing Association, the Gen 4 Cup Series, be well, be safe, be kind, and we'll see all you guys next time.